On the distant world of Yautja Prime, the predator home planet, strength means everything. The Yautja are fierce hunters, and only the strongest are allowed to lead. Dek, however, is different. He's small, considered a runt, and constantly judged by his father, Njohrr, the clan leader. Dek dreams of proving himself, of showing that even the smallest hunter can rise to greatness. To earn his father's respect, Dek vows to hunt the Kalisk, a terrifying apex predator that lives on the death planet Genna. The Kalisk is legendary, a creature so powerful that no one has ever truly defeated it. For Dek, hunting the Kalisk isn't just about survival, it's about proving he belongs in the clan. But before Dek can even begin his journey, Njohrr arrives with a cruel command. He orders Dek's older brother Quay to kill him. Njohrr believes Dek is too weak, a disgrace to the clan, and unworthy of the Yautja name. The order shocks Quay. He loves his brother and doesn't want to carry out such a brutal command. Instead of obeying, Quay makes a bold choice. He secretly activates Dek's transport ship, sending him away to Genna. Dek is whisked off into space, powerless to stop what happens next. From inside the ship, Dek watches in horror as Njohrr executes Quay for his defiance. His brother's sacrifice saves him, but the pain of losing Quay burns deep inside. The ship crashes onto Genna, a planet unlike any other. Genna is a nightmare world, filled with dangers at every turn. The air is thick, the ground unstable, and the creatures are vicious. Even the plants seem alive, ready to strike at anything that moves. Dek, now alone, must face this hostile environment with nothing but his determination. Every step on Genna is a test. The planet itself seems to challenge Dek, daring him to survive. He knows that if he fails here, his father will be proven right, that he is weak, unworthy, and destined to be forgotten. But Dek refuses to give up. His brother's sacrifice fuels his resolve. He will hunt the Kalisk. He will prove himself. Dek's crash landing on Genna is only the beginning of his nightmare. The planet is alive with danger. The air feels heavy, the ground shifts beneath his feet, and every plant or creature seems ready to strike. Genna isn't just a place, it's a test, designed to break anyone who dares to survive there. Dek, still grieving the loss of his brother Quay, knows he must stay strong. His father called him weak, but this world will decide if that's true. As Dek struggles through the hostile terrain, he encounters something unexpected: Thea, a damaged android from the Weyland Yutani Corporation. Her team had come to Genna with one mission: capture the Kalisk. But the mission failed, and her companions were destroyed. Thea is broken, scarred, and alone, yet she still functions. At first, Dek doesn't trust her. Yautja hunters don't usually ally with outsiders, especially humans or machines. But Thea offers something Dek desperately needs: knowledge of the Kalisk. Reluctantly, Dek agrees to work with her. Their alliance is uneasy, but it gives him hope. Thea knows the terrain, the dangers, and the creature they're hunting. Together, they begin tracking the Kalisk, moving deeper into Genna's deadly wilderness. Along the way, they encounter a strange native creature. It's small, curious, and unlike the other monsters on the planet. Thea names it Bud. At first, Dek sees Bud as a nuisance, but the creature marks him with its saliva, leaving a strange connection between them. Dek doesn't realize it yet, but Bud will play a much bigger role in his journey. Meanwhile, far from their camp, another threat awakens. Thea's sister, an android named Tessa, reactivates. Unlike Thea, Tessa is cold, calculating, and loyal to Weyland Yutani's mission. She begins tracking Dek and Thea, determined to finish what her team started. When Tessa discovers Dek's crash-landed ship, she takes his weaponry, arming herself with Yautja technology. This makes her even more dangerous. As Dek and Thea continue their journey, Thea stumbles upon the remains of her destroyed team. The sight is heartbreaking. She tries to repair herself, reaching out to Weyland Yutani for support, but she knows they care more about capturing the Kalisk than saving her. Dek watches her struggle and begins to see something unusual in her: emotion. For a machine, Thea shows compassion, fear, and determination. It reminds Dek of his brother's sacrifice, and slowly he starts to trust her. The hunt for the Kalisk finally begins. Dek, Thea, and Bud move deeper into Genna's dangerous wilderness, knowing the apex predator could strike at any moment. The planet feels alive with tension. Every shadow hides a threat, every sound could be the Kalisk. Dek knows this is the moment he has been waiting for. If he can defeat the Kalisk, he will prove himself worthy of the Yautja name. To draw the creature out, Dek sets a trap. He ignites an oil spill, sending flames across the landscape. The fire roars, lighting up the night sky, and the smell of burning oil attracts the Kalisk. Suddenly, the ground shakes, and the monstrous predator emerges. The Kalisk is massive, unlike anything Dek has ever faced. Its body is scarred from countless battles, its eyes glowing with primal fury. This is no ordinary hunt. This is survival against a beast that refuses to die. Dek charges into battle, his Yautja instincts guiding him. The fight is brutal. He slashes, strikes, and finally manages to sever the Kalisk's head. For a moment, it looks like victory, but then something impossible happens. The Kalisk regenerates. Its head reforms, its body heals, and it rises again, stronger than before. Dek is stunned. He has never seen a creature with such power. The Kalisk retaliates, striking Dek with overwhelming force. He is thrown to the ground, battered, and defeated. Yet, instead of finishing him, the Kalisk pauses. It looks at Dek, recognizing something in him. Perhaps it senses Bud's saliva marking him, or perhaps it sees a spark of respect. Whatever the reason, the Kalisk spares Dek's life. For the first time, Dek realizes this creature is more than just a monster. It has instincts, intelligence, and maybe even compassion. But the moment doesn't last. The Weyland Yutani team arrives, armed and ready. They capture both Dek and the Kalisk, determined to study them. To the corporation, they are not warriors or living beings. They are experiments. Dek is restrained, stripped of his freedom, and treated like a specimen. Tessa, Thea's cold and calculating sister, takes control. She begins experimenting on Dek, probing his body and mind. To her, emotions are weakness, and she sees Thea's compassion as a flaw. Tessa decides Thea must be deactivated. Dek watches helplessly as his only ally is threatened, realizing that the humans are just as dangerous as the Kalisk. Captured, weakened, and betrayed, Dek finds himself at the mercy of Weyland Yutani and the cold android Tessa. She sees him as nothing more than a specimen, a tool to be studied and broken. Worse, she believes her sister Thea's compassion is a flaw, and she plans to deactivate her. For Dek, this is more than just survival now. It's about protecting the only ally who has stood by him. Thea manages to help Dek escape, and in that moment, Dek begins to piece together the truth. Bud, the strange native creature who has been following him, isn't just a random companion. Bud is the child of the Kalisk. That's why the mighty predator spared Dek earlier. It recognized its offspring's mark on him. Suddenly, Dek's mission changes. He isn't just hunting the Kalisk anymore. He feels a responsibility to rescue both Thea and the captured beast. But Dek has lost his advanced Yautja weapons. To fight back, he must adapt. Using Genna's hostile environment, he crafts organic weapons from the planet's resources: spears, blades, and traps made from bone, stone, and living plants. It's a test of his creativity and resilience, proving that even without technology, he can still be a hunter. Together with Bud, Dek launches an attack on the Weyland Yutani base. The battle is fierce, neon explosions lighting up the night as Dek fights with raw determination. He frees Thea, who immediately joins him in the mission to release the Kalisk. Once unleashed, the creature tears through the facility, destroying everything in its path. The humans who thought they could control it are no match for its fury. But Tessa isn't finished. She dons a massive mechanical powerloader mech armed with Dek's stolen Yautja plasmacaster. With this weapon, she becomes a terrifying opponent, battling the Kalisk in a showdown of machine versus monster. The fight is brutal. The Kalisk devours Tessa, but even in defeat, she strikes back. Using cryogenic grenades, she kills the Kalisk, freezing and shattering the beast that had seemed unstoppable. As the dust settles, Tessa turns her attention to Thea, ready to eliminate her for good. Dek refuses to let that happen. He fights back with everything he has, destroying Tessa and reclaiming his stolen weapon. Bud, enraged, finishes the job by tearing off Tessa's head. The battles on Genna are over, but Dek's journey is far from finished. With Thea repaired and Bud now older and stronger, Dek returns to Yautja Prime. He carries with him not just scars from the Death Planet, but proof of his victories. Tessa's skull, a trophy that shows he has conquered both human technology and android cruelty. Dek presents the skull to his father, Njohrr, demanding recognition. More than that, he asks for his father's cloaking device, a symbol of true Yautja hunters. But Njohrr, still blinded by pride and cruelty, denies him. To Njohrr, Dek will always be the runt, unworthy of honor. This rejection ignites Dek's fury. He has survived Genna, fought the Kalisk, defeated Weyland Yutani, and destroyed Tessa. He has proven himself again and again. Yet his father refuses to see it. Dek realizes that Njohrr will never give him respect. He must take it. Njohrr's bodyguards move to stop him, but Dek strikes with precision. He kills them, showing that he is no longer the weak runt his father once mocked. Then, in front of the clan, Dek challenges Njohrr to a duel. The fight is brutal, filled with the raw power of Yautja tradition. Njohrr, older but still strong, battles fiercely. But Dek's determination, sharpened by his trials on Genna, gives him the edge. As Njohrr falls, he tries to bargain for his life. He promises to allow Dek back into the clan, to give him the honor he has always wanted. But Dek sees through the lie. His father's words are empty, just another attempt to control him. Dek rejects the offer. Instead, he commands Bud to finish the fight. The creature obeys, biting off Njohrr's head in a shocking display of loyalty and strength. With Njohrr defeated, Dek claims the cloak for himself. It is more than a weapon. It is a symbol of his rise. No longer the runt, Dek has become a leader, a hunter, and a warrior who has carved his own path. Thea stands beside him, proof that compassion and loyalty can survive even in the harshest worlds. Bud, now larger and more powerful, represents the bond between predator and prey, child and protector. As Dek and his allies prepare for what comes next, a massive ship appears in the sky. Its presence is mysterious, its arrival unexpected. Dek looks up and declares, "It's my mother." The words hang heavy, hinting at a new chapter, a deeper legacy, and battles yet to come. And that's the full hunt, from Dek's rebellion to his rise as a true predator. If you loved this breakdown, don't just watch, join the tribe. Smash that subscribe button for more Hollywood recaps. Hit like if you're ready for the next hunt, and drop a comment. Do you think Dek's mother will change the predator legacy forever? This is Quick Takes, Hollywood in a Heartbeat. See you in the next recap.